deep lessons to learn from this David and Goliath story. If you study it closely, you learn that in this passage, you learn that with God, you can do the impossible. You learn in this passage to make use of what you already have. Stones that was in the hands of David was what he used. Don't underestimate your capabilities. You never know what you can do until you try and you put your faith into action. This passage is teaching us that we should be bigger than our fears. You also should know that giants are not always as strong and powerful as we think they are. You must understand that. You must also understand that every Goliath, no matter how big or strong they have an unprotected forehead where you can throw your stone. All these lessons are in this passage. You can preach on this passage for 1 year. This passage is telling us that no matter how big your giants are, God is bigger. Just because nobody has ever done something before does not mean you cannot do it. Nobody has destroyed Goliath before. David did it first time. He's teaching us to fight our battles in the name of the Lord and never underestimate what God can do through you. This passage is teaching us that. It's teaching us that fear comes when we take our minds off God. Then fear will come in. Just like Simon Peter looked at the waves and it started sinking. It's teaching us that to have faith, you don't rely on your senses. Don't rely on your senses. When it comes to the things of God, you cannot measure it by your academic brain. The best of brains cannot cope with the mysteries of God. To have faith, you can't rely on your senses. This passage is telling us, battle is not yours, it is the Lord. And when God appears at your war front, your battle is over. It's teaching us that we must know our spiritual weapons. If you don't have a copy of 101 spiritual weapons against the enemy, go and buy one. That's why David picked 5 stones. He had calculated that he would need at least a maximum of 5 to finish him off. He had calculated that the first one may miss the target, the second one may miss, but by the time he spends 5, one will catch him. You learn from this passage. Don't talk about how great your battles are. Talk about how great your God is. And he also wants you to know that your enemies are always spiritually prepared against you. So if you are naive and you don't understand anything, you think, well, I've not offended anybody, I'm very kind, I give to people, I'm nice and lovely, therefore I have no enemies. You are a fool. If I slap your face and you slap me back, I'm not a wicked person. I started it. But when I have not touched you at all, I didn't touch you, I didn't look for your trouble, and you are slapping me, it's wickedness. Our enemies are always spiritually prepared against you. You will learn from this passage. You don't need to offend anybody before a war can be declared against you. You also learn that don't use the armor of Saul. Use your divine protection. All these lessons are in that passage. This passage is telling us to send curses back to the sender. Goliath said he would destroy David. Curse David in the name of his God. David did not keep quiet. Say, back to the sender. It's me that will kill you today. Feed your flesh to the birds of the air. You must learn to pronounce the curse of God upon what is not, what you don't want in your life. So what you learn in this one, Goliath died before he died. Immediately David said, I come against you in the name of the God of hosts. You defied. That was the end of the battle. Goliath died before he died. But last but not the least, close mouth is a close destiny. David did not keep quiet. He fought back. I have a word of prophecy for somebody. Your terrifying strong man shall fall down and die in the name of Jesus.